Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today I have Kariana joining me. Hey, Kariana.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, guys, we have an exciting video, how to get rid of the third party. Yeah, this video is for you if you've got any third party. A third party can be someone married. It can be a video game. It can be friends. It can be anything standing in the way of your relationship, not making you feel like you're the priority. So you can apply these techniques to any situation where, you feel like there's a third party, something that's getting in the way of your relationship. So just before we dive into it, guys, Kariana's having a sale right now. Her coaching is 50% off. Her schedule's filling fast, so definitely check out the link in the description below, as well as we are giving away a free course, How to Find Your Blocks to Manifest Anything Fast. It's going to help you find your blocks and build a mental diet so you are able to manifest anything you want really, really quickly. There's one thing in that video that in that course that I created that a lot of people don't realize is a block is questioning. We don't need to question anything. You're the only one in your quantum bubble. Questioning, who are you asking? You're the one that have the answers. You're the one that has the questions, but you can answer your own questions because remember, everyone is you pushed out and everything is showing up according to your assumptions. So that course has a lot of insights like that. It's actually how I build my mental diet to manifest things. So yeah, definitely check it out. It's absolutely free because we care about your success and we want you to be successful and have everything that you desire because there's an abundance in the world and everybody can have what they want. So yeah, let's dive in. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, I know. I'm really excited too because it's a subject that gets brought up a lot during my coaching sessions. So, okay, so how to get rid of a 3P easily and effortlessly, right? So I have a success story about a client that unfortunately created a 3P in the workplace with her SP. So it's a romantic 3P. The relationship that they were developing at work was, pretty inappropriate. My client was not happy with it, right? But the good news is that she created it so she could uncreate it, right? Have the 3P disappear, right? So it's kind of that example that everyone is you pushed out, right? So when you create a 3P pops up. And it's kind of a reminder of like how powerful you are, even though it is negative and you want it to go away, right? So my client came to me and explained the situation, and we went over what to do first, right? So I explained to her everyone is you pushed out in very, very good detail, so she could understand why, how she created this. And then I had her write out her story because she just really didn't understand why or how this happened. So I had her write out her story in detail. It was a little homework assignment for her. And she came back to me and she goes, okay, now I get it. I understand this, right? I was feeling insecure in my relationship. I wasn't intending that my SP was all about me and madly in love with me and only wanted me. And she saw the relationship that he was, having with this person that started out as friends and then developed into something else. And she spiraled with that instead of getting on her intentions and saying, no, my SP only wants me. He's in love with me. He only sees me. He's madly in love with me. She kind of went down a little rabbit hole, right? So we had to pull her back out. The 3P was there and wasn't going away anytime soon. And she was really, really nervous about it. So what to do? All right. So what I told her is that now that you understand how you created this person in your reality, right? So I told her, hey, we can create a story around it that works for everyone in the situation. So this 3P and SP, let's create a story. There's no reason to have any big dramas. There's no reason to hate 3P because you created her, right? So creating a story that works for all of you. So she decided to create a story around the fact that SP had sat down with 3P and said, look, this is never going to work because I'm in love with my girlfriend and I only want her and her only, and this would never work. And I wish you well. And I want you to go and find someone that you are compatible with and happy with. And that's the story that she created, that 3P, went and found somebody else that she was happy with and lived happily ever after. And she intended this over and over. Whenever, 3P would pop up in her mind and the situation, she would just intend that this story, she would run this story in her mind, right? Over and over. the 3P eventually went away, right? So I had her start working on her relationship after that. You know, what do you want to see, feel, and hear from SP? What's your perfect relationship look like, right? Do you want your SP to wake up every morning and tell you how beautiful you are, and you know that that he's madly in love with you, and that he wants only you and only you? Because basically what that does is it keeps the 3P away, right? It keeps you confident in your relationship and knowing that you are the only one for your SP, right? So that's what we did. We worked on that, and it made a really solid foundation for her to keep like manifesting her relationship to go in the direction that she wanted it to go, which was moving in, you know, solid commitment, marriage, and those kind of things. So that's basically what I did, and it worked out for her. She was able, like I said, to get rid of the 3P. The 3P stayed away. The 3P actually found a new relationship, and it was exactly as how she intended. And I was just so proud of her, because people, clients tend to, you know, think a 3P, oh my gosh, once they pop up in my reality, they're here to stay. And it's so hard to get to manifest you know, a 3P away. What do I do? Oh my gosh, how did I do this? Right. And just as quick as a 3P pops up, you can literally make a story around, you know, the 3P and wish them well, and they can disappear just as fast. You know, it doesn't have to be a permanent thing. So yeah.
Exactly. You know, exactly. You know, I think the couple things that I want to kind of add in myself is like, should you focus on the third party? There's a lot of, you know, back and forth and different thoughts about this. Now, the only time I think you should focus on the third party is when it comes to mind. Okay. So when you're like going through your day and you're like, oh, why does he like her so much? You know, why isn't he with me? Okay. Now, that's negative energy. We're putting, you know, like energy, like we're blocking ourselves right there. So in that time on your mental diet, to quickly revise it and go, no, you know what, the third party, she wants to be, or he wants to be with somebody else. And my SP wants to be with me. Okay. So, you know, I wouldn't put any extra, you know, time. You can, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with putting time and saying, okay, you know what, this third party is going to find someone better. They don't want to be with my SP. They found someone that they're going to marry and be happy with. That's totally fine. You can put that sort of energy towards it all you want. The energy you don't want to put towards it is holding the story in place that you don't like, right? But you do need to put some sort of energy towards it, because you've already put energy that's got the third party in place. So you do need to put enough energy to separate the third party from it. You can't really ignore it, because it's like a Post-it note. You've already put there that this person wants to be with your SP. So at some point, you're going to have to say they don't want to be with your SP, right? You have to acknowledge and revise what you've already created. So ignoring something doesn't get rid of it. Okay. You've got to acknowledge it, renounce it, and deal with it. Now, what happens if your SP is married, okay, to the third party? Now, I always see a lot of questions about this. And at the end of the day, you have to be comfortable breaking up a marriage. Is it right or wrong? No, it's not right or wrong. It's not positive or negative. It's what you want. So a lot of times there'll be, you know, a third party and they're married to the SP is married to the 3P. I mean, is it okay to break up the marriage? That's a question only you can decide. Me, I wouldn't have a problem with it. It's my reality. They're going to go, you know, marriages break up all the time. People get married all the time. They're probably not even a happy marriage. They're going to move away. That SP is going to be with me. The other third party is going to find someone else. That would be my story. 100% comfortable with it. No problem here. Right. But I mean, you've got to be comfortable with that and come to terms with it yourself, because if you're not, and you're grappling with if this is okay to break up this marriage, then you're going to hold that story in place, right? So, you know, you've got to come to terms with it yourself, right? And if it's not something that you're comfortable doing or feel right breaking up, then again, that's your choice, right? You create within your beliefs, values, and, you know, your morals, right? So, you know, I mean, yeah, you know, I look at it that, you know, it's for the better, right? Like, you know, not wanting to break up a marriage and feeling bad about it is basically saying they have a great marriage, right? You can't have that story and get rid of the third party. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, I totally agree. I don't think I have that question asked a lot too. You know, clients will come and ask me, do you think I should ignore the third party and just kind of like bury my head in the sand and just intend for my SP and me? And it's like, well, no, I really don't, because I feel like ignoring it, like you said, is not going to manifest it away. I don't think that, I mean, I guess there are some people out there that can do it. I don't think that that works. I think that the method that we are explaining in this video works the best, you know, writing out your story. It's really simple. Just write out your story and you will have aha moments. You really will have aha moments every single time. You know,
exactly. And by changing your story, you're automatically going to be focusing on the 3P. Okay. So like, for instance, right, I remember when I first started dating Andrew, I was like having like, okay, so he told me he had this girlfriend that was like on and off, like they were basically on and off. And so I was like, and then I think he canceled with me one day, and I was starting to get in my head a little bit thinking, oh my God, is like this girl showing back up again? And then we went for dinner, and of course it manifests. Okay. He said to me, he's like, oh, he's like, my ex called me. And I was like sitting there in that moment. I'm like, no, he didn't answer the phone because he wants to be with me and he doesn't want to be with her. I'm like, you know, and then I was like, and she's going to stop calling him because she's going to find someone new. Like that was my story in that moment. And then all of a sudden, Andrew said to me, he was like, yeah, but I didn't answer it. He's like, because I really want nothing to do with her. You know, he's like, I didn't even really think that she wanted to be with me. He's like, I kind of felt like she was like using me for like other things, right? And it just wasn't comfortable for me. And I was like, oh, thank God. And then I was like, okay, she's never going to call him again because she's moving on. She's never going to call him. So do you know what I mean? Like, you know, so because, you know, I felt like even if I basically said Andrew wanted nothing to do with her, but she kept calling because she was into him, because obviously that was my belief because they were dating at some points, right? So I was like, no, I've got to make it in my mind where I believe that she's not even interested in him. So I was like, nope, she's not interested in him. She's never going to call him again, because if I had just done where he didn't want to be with her, but she kept calling, I mean, that wasn't my ideal situation as well, because I felt like if I'm having a day where I'm like a bit off and I'm in my head, you know, I may take that the wrong way and start going down the jealousy road, you know, of why, or, you know, like creating this whole entire like drama or something, right? So I was like, no, I just want her gone, right? Yeah. And she never called him back again, right? And I was like, okay, she got the hint. She moved her on, right?
Yeah, that's the point, is like getting the 3P completely gone out of your reality. And you can do that the right way. You can do that by creating a story that does not cause any drama. Wish him well. Bye-bye. Right. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because like you said, with your situation with Andrew and this 3P at first, that's kind of what happened with my client. Like they were friends at first at work, and then it just kind of became a little inappropriate. My client was not comfortable with that. And she was like, well, what do I do? You know, I don't want to deprive him, you know, of friends, and I don't want to be this jealous person. And I'm like, if this is becoming inappropriate in your reality, okay, accept that you created it. And now we want this person completely gone, because you're going to have those days where you're going to see them together, or she's going to call for a business related thing, and you're going to go down a rabbit hole again. And you don't want to do that. You want to keep you want to immerse yourself in your desired reality. And, you know, who are you? And, you know, who are you already having exactly what you want, right? You want to be that person like all the time, right? As long as many times a day as you can be immersed in that, you want to. So if you have somebody distracting you, you know, it can, I mean, it's not going to stop your manifestation, but it can delay it, you know, and it can make you not strong in your foundation. Right. You should always be the strongest one in it, you know?
Exactly. And now let's touch on this other part of it. Like, for instance, I mean, Andrew was married before. Okay. And they have a kid together. Okay. So there's, you know, an ex, right, that is very much in our lives because it's family. So when we go to like any family function on, you know, Andrew's side with his daughter, yeah, Andrew's ex-wife is there, very much so there. Right. And, you know, so how do I deal with that? Well, first of all, I've got a really strong story that Andrew wants to be with me and only me. And if he wanted to be with her, he wouldn't have divorced her in the first place. Okay. And I'm not even sure who divorced who, but it doesn't even matter. The divorce happened. They didn't want to be together. If they wanted to be together, they would be together. He's with me now. So, you know, it's about having a strong self-concept about yourself as you know, a girlfriend or as a wife, right? So my story is I'm the best wife in the world and he'll never leave me. And in fact, men never leave me. I'm the one that leave them when I decide that I'm done the relationship. Okay. So that's first and foremost my story, my self-concept about a relationship. And then beyond that, it's like my assumptions about Andrew and my belief about him. He's loyal, he's faithful, he's in love with me. He doesn't want to be with anyone other than me. And if he wanted to be with someone other than me, I believe that he is a mature enough person to tell me that and to move on, right? And, you know, but he never will, right? So, you know, so we do see the ex-wife, right? And it's up to me to hold my story that me and Andrew are happy together, and that, you know, she and I have a story that she's found someone and she has somebody and they are together and they are happy. So, you know, that's how we've dealt with that. So she's in a relationship and she's happy in that relationship. Andrew wants nothing to do with her. I've got a whole story about, you know, how Andrew feels about his ex or whatever. And like, you know, and yeah, and that's where, you know, that's where it is. So there may be times where you can't get rid of the ex. Pardon me. Sorry, I've got a cold. But you have to be strong enough in your story, right? To go, okay, you know what? No. In fact, you know what? One of my exes, right, actually shows up every once in a while. And it was so funny. He got like some kind of like problem with like, he got charged with like drinking and driving, my ex did. And he actually came, and Andrew's lawyer, he actually came over and Andrew actually helped him, referred him to another lawyer and helped him out and helped him with those charges. And so that's the funny thing again. So Andrew wasn't worried that, you know, I didn't want to be with him, because Andrew's like, well, you know, if Amanda wanted to be with him, she would be with him, not with me, to the point where he's talked to my ex on the phone and helped him out with legal stuff and given him advice, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, it's because we're secure in each other, and that's our story. And that's ultimately where you want to be. If you're scared of, you know, the third party being around, then you've got a story about rejection and not being good enough that you probably need to deal with, because you should be able to, you know, confidently have these people at somewhere in the world, right? You know, if you're scared of creating a third party, you're going to create a third party everywhere.
Absolutely, you will. Right? Yeah. Because that's definitely, I've seen that happen plenty of times in clients, plenty of times.
But you can wish them away. You can wish them away that you'll never see them again. You can do that. But in some cases, like with exes and kids, that may be a little bit more difficult. And that's how you would deal with that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely have a similar personal story. So I get it. You just have to change, and you have to change your story in relation to it, especially if you can't get rid of the third party, if they are like a permanent, you know, it's an ex-wife and it has a child with your SP. You know, you have to change your story in relation to the 3P. Don't compare yourself to this person, because that's all an illusion. Nobody is better than you. And your reality, I say it, I'll say it again. You're on the pedestal. You're the only one that matters. It's your reality. It's your movie. Everybody is just a hired actor with a script that you have written. So nobody is ever above you, you know?
Exactly.
You know? So you have to intend that, you know, I am the one that my SP wants to be with, and that they're madly in love with me. They literally only have eyes for me. Doesn't matter who else is around. Right.
Exactly.
And then strengthen your, you know, your story around you and SP, because that really does help keep away the 3P, even if the 3P is still in your life, you know, like obviously this 3P didn't get fired, you know, she was still there and they were working together. My friend did have to deal with that. She did have to know that, but she strengthened her story around her and SP, and she felt more confident. You know, this person got a new boyfriend, a new partner, and they were happy, and, you know, never had to worry about this again, because she was like immersed in like, SP only wants me. He's madly in love with me. He only sees me, only has eyes for me. You know, this person thinks I'm the most beautiful woman on the face of the planet. Whatever you want to see, feel, and hear from your SP is what you need to be intending, especially when you're dealing with a 3P, you know? Yeah,
exactly. So guys, yeah, change your story about your specific person, change your self-concept to be the best, your story about relationships. And, you know, I mean, yeah. And that's really, you know, the secret here. And I would say, if anything, the biggest takeaway is change your story about your SP and what they think about you and what they want, right? And when you start there, you're really going to start to see things really fall into place, right? So
and never forget that everyone is you pushed out.
Exactly.
So it's such a big topic.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Kariana. You are absolutely amazing.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And yeah, we intend that everybody gets an aha moment from this video, and that, yeah, you guys create your dream reality. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.